Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Today we will look on the new topic, which is this is the chapter 2 from your textbooks, which will discuss on the worldwide of accounting diversity. As I already explained last week, that because of because of the country all over the world, they have their own regulation, they have their own accounting standard. So what happened is the accounting reporting in worldwide will be diversity. Okay, means it will be the variance among accounting reporting from one country to another country will be exist. Okay, so for this chapter we will look on few learning outcomes. So what is the learning outcome? Learning outcome is what the student should be able after at the end of this topic. First, at the end of this topic, you should able to provide evidence of the diversity that exists in the accounting internationally. Okay, evidence. Number 2, you should able to explain what is the problem caused by the accounting diversity. Number 3, you should able to describe the major environmental factors that influence the national accounting system, which is lead to accounting diversity. Number 4, you should able to describe a judgmental classification of countries by financial reporting system. Number 5, you should able to discuss the influence of culture to have on the financial reporting. Number 6, you should be able to describe a simplified model of the reason for international differences in financial reporting. And lastly, you should be able to categorize accounting differences internationally and provide examples for each type of difference. Okay, so we will look on the introduction of worldwide accounting diversity. Okay. So since, as I said just now, each country or each region, actually they have their own standard or they have their own rules in preparing or recording the accounting. So we will expect that there are few we can classify the diversity in accounting in few nature. Okay, first, the format may be different. Okay, so for example, what you do, try to look on the financial report, the statement of financial position of Malaysian company, and try to look on another example in the US company. So you will find that the format will be different. Number 2, the terminology of course will be different. This is due to the influence of language. Okay, so for example, we use ordinary share, and in US they use the common stock. Okay, so it will be different terminology. Number 3, rules of recognition will be different. For example, in Malaysia, when we said, even though you already learned that in recognize or in recording the when you recognize the asset must be you set at cost, at fair, but at the other country the recognition rules might be different. And lastly, the measurement rules. Measurement rules in Malaysia might be different with the measurement rules of certain asset in Indonesia. So we will look, there are a lot of diversity, but this is the common diversity that we can look in the accounting report. Okay, what is the reason why this diversity exists? So we will discuss the reason for the accounting diversity. The first reason we can say because of the legal system. There are different legal systems that apply in Malaysia, okay, and different legal system that apply in German, for example. Okay. So for the legal system, we can look, or we divided the country worldwide into two types of legal system, which is common law and court law. I believe that you already learned about the commercial law. You also learn about company law. Okay, so we are talking about the common law and court law. Okay, so we look on the difference between the common law and court law. Okay, first we look on the common law. For the common law, the criteria of common law normally you deal with a few statutes, which is most of the law is based on the court interpretation. Okay, so normally we said creation of precedent of case law. So we didn't use the statute, okay, but we used the precedent case. Okay. So which country that use the common law? Common law normally applied by the Great Britain and other English-speaking country. Okay. So for this type of country, okay, which is actually using the common law, normally the accounting law is detailed and specific. Okay, the accounting law is more detailed and specific. And the source are non-legislative organization. Where is the source of the accounting law? The source is, we are referring to the non-legislative organization. If we look for the court law, okay, so court law, normally the country that apply the court law, there are more statutes compared to the common law just now. Okay, and accounting regulation is, okay, we will refer to the corporation law. So normally the country that apply the court law is the country that we said non-English speaking country. Okay, so the accounting will be rules by legislated rules. Okay, just now in common law we call non-legislative, but here in the court law it's legislated accounting rules. Okay, so accounting law is general. Okay, compared to the common law just now, we said detailed and specific. Therefore, since the accounting law is general, so other guidance is required because it's very general. So we need we have to refer to other guidance for the specific and detailed one. Okay. So for example, we look on the court law. For example, the country that apply the court law is German. Okay. So we said the accounting law tends to be general. So what happened is, the German accounting law, which is passed in 1985, they only have 47 pages. And this accounting law silent about few issues such as leases, foreign currency translation, and the cash flow statement. Okay, so this is one of the example. You can find another example through the reading in the article. Okay, another reason. Okay, the second reason. First reason just now is because of the legal law. The second reason is the basic for. Okay, for basic for the second reason, as I said, is basis for taxation. Okay, so for basis for taxation, we will look on two things. First, for some country, the basis for the taxation is published financial statement. Okay, so what is mean? Meaning the same financial statement that published for the company, that is the amount or the figure that will be used for the basis for taxation. Okay, so for example, we are looking on German. Okay, same taxable income and book income. Book income, we are referring to your statement of financial position or your P&L. So let's say in the P&L is stated there that the profit of the company is 100,000, for example. So this 100,000 is equal to the taxable income. Okay. But for certain country, but for some country, they didn't use the published financial statement. What they do is the financial statement which is published will be adjusted for the tax purposes. Okay, this is what you learn in the Malaysia. The things that you learn in my class, for example, when you calculate when you calculate the profit of the company, the method, okay, that you write for the profit of the company is different with the things that you learn when you calculate the taxable income in the taxation class. Okay, so since the profit of that taxable profit that you arrive in your financial statement, okay, it's different with the amount that you calculate for the taxable income. So the difference here. So what happens is there will be a deferred income taxes. So the second reason for the diversity is the basis for the taxation. So this is the second reason. Okay. The third reason is providers for financings. Okay. So what is mean providers for financing? Who is the main providers for the company? Okay. So we are talking about who is the main investor for the company. Accounting and disclosure will be less important when major sources are families, banks, and the government. But if the major sources are device shareholders, then accounting and disclosure is more important because different shareholders, they will look at the different things. Okay? So, example for this one, for example in China, most of the providers of financing in China company is the China government. So if you look in the China financial statement, they are less detailed or less specific, okay, compared to the Malaysian financial statement. Okay, so the third reason will be the providers for financing. Okay. The next reason is because of inflation. So this is the fourth reason. Okay. For some countries who have historically high rates of inflation, there are necessity to adjust to offset the inflation. We are talking about Mexican, okay, for example. So this one, okay, we said adjustment for hyperinflation. This one you already learned in the AFA 2. So this situation is common in Latin American countries. Number 5, because of political and economic ties affect how accounting rules are conveyed. For example, okay, we are talking, for example, this is political and economic ties. Okay, so Malaysia is one of the Commonwealth countries. So this is we call as political ties. So since Malaysia is one of the Commonwealth country, so our accounting rules is most influenced by the British rules. Okay, British accounting rules. Okay, number 6, we are talking about correlation of factors. Okay, so for example, in common law countries, domestic listed companies relying on the equity for capital. But in the court law countries, tend to link taxation to accounting statement and rely on financing provided by shareholders. Okay, so basically there are 6 reasons for the worldwide accounting diversity. Okay, and we will stop our the recording here. Okay, we will continue for the part 2 of this topic.